It's been a little longer than expected, but we're back with another segment of TNH News. So without further ado, this is TNH News. Dun 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 dun.
Yep.
So, have you heard about the EU Artificial Intelligence Act?
I have not.
So, this is the EU's big AI act to make AI work for humanity or whatever they want to say. It says that this is 2014, so it has been on the works quite a while, but the big thing for us is that social scoring is strictly prohibited under EU AI Act.
That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
This is Google, for example, in the teachers episode that we have still not done in English. It's Google and Microsoft and so on are not allowed by law to do any social scoring or assessing risk of individual committed crime, like future crimes. Is it the Black Mirror? Do you know Black Mirror, the TV series?
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of episodes though.
Yeah, I have also not watched it, but it's always in the comparisons that we are building a Black Mirror world, that future crime and stuff like that. That it's totally prohibited, and I'm very interested to see where this goes, because it sounds nice, but still, for example, Kela, that is the Social Security Agency of Finland, that gives you the unemployment benefits and stuff like that. They had a test to search with AI for fraud, that who is misusing the Social Security benefits, but they stopped it because they thought that it's not clear enough, the usage of AI. And at this point, they have a quite clear website of how they use AI responsibly, and pretty much they are changing the customer service to AI. Like, I'm a tinfoil. I think that they are in the end wanting to build something like the China social credit system, but now EU has like directly prohibited it. So it will be interesting how things develop. And the Kela's AI principles are also not like, if you would want to build a responsible AI, you would build it like this, that it's not looking for fraud, because they scrapped the project. It's not looking for fraud, and it's not scoring users anymore. It's like only reading your applications, but then human is doing the decision still.
Okay.
So we are not yet in a dystopian society, and EU is trying to stop the China's credit score system. And this is a bit of white pill, but we will see how things develop. Any thoughts about the AI Artificial Intelligence Act?
Well, I mean, well, just that bit that you showed me, that's quite a positive outcome. I thought, no, he's going to be coming in with doom again. But no, that sounds pretty good. I'm glad to hear that the EU wants to rule out AI social credit scoring. I definitely wouldn't want that. I mean, I don't think that applies to where I am in the UK, unless the UK just copies and pastes what they do, which they have done loads.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah, and pretty much they listed that social scoring and manipulative AI is totally prohibited, but still banks are reading everything that you do with AI, and also of course Kela is also reading everything with AI, but they are not using it for nefarious purposes, as it's now outlawed. But we will see. The next topic. This is also a bit of a white pill from older. This didn't happen like last week. Texas sued or fined Meta for 1.4 billion for collecting people's personal biometric data without the direct authorization by the user. Texas argued that it was not enough that you had a 50-page user agreement, and then there it was hidden that yes, you are selling your user biometrics data to Meta or Facebook. Nobody calls it Facebook Meta.
Yeah, I know.
And-
Same with Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's calling that X. Well, a few people call it X, but no, it's Twitter.
Yeah,
It was Twitter for like a decade, or like a decade and a half before it was X. So,
and this is the biggest like tech fine in history.
really?
Yeah, at least if you believe Grok, that like one single fine. There has been like, I found many articles that EU has fined 1.2 billion last year in total for like tech purposes, but this is like one single fine of misusing data, and Facebook paid it.
Wow. Okay, so you're coming in with even more hopium for me. That's nice.
Yes, but then do you know what this is about?
He said, but then.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just do the zoomies. I'm getting some idea of what it is, but is it meant to simulate a human brain, or rather simulate patterns in the human brain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meta, Facebook developed
You said it. You said it.
Yes. Facebook developed an AI to make a copy of your brain, and they started it by they put the participants in an MRI scanner. How do you call it?
All right.
fMRI scanner, and put them watch videos, and then the AI learned if you are watching this movie, what happens in the brain, and if you are watching that thing in the video, on what happens in the brain. So the AI learned to map pretty much. Have you seen, like, it was 10 years ago or something, quite old already, when the scientists were able to, that a human is shown a hammer, and then like 50 times 50 pixel image can be generated from the brain data to show a hammer.
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't see it for a hammer, but I saw it for bugs. Like, they showed them a picture of a bug, and you'd see these otherworldly renders of what the brain supposedly saw that was very similar to the bug.
Yeah. I think the hammer one was even older because it was like very few pixels. Now, Meta is doing it on a larger scale, and the tinfoil here is saying that, hey, Meta can literally test their advertisements with test subjects. What advertisements affect the brain the most? And then they can make inferences that you have seen this and this stuff, your brain thinks like this.
See, I knew that bass drop was coming. Because I was thinking, it's just a model of the brain. It's just, it's just a cool little experiment. Oh no.
Yeah, it's predicted brain activity. Like, it's predicting that when you are shown this video, what happens in your brain. So they can do a lot of things with that kind of information.
Yeah.
And of course, the thing works the other round too. If you know what your brain looks like when you watch something, you also know if you see the brain that what he is thinking. So pretty much mind reading. And when we have fMRI scanners cheaper and hooked up to your Meta glasses, then Meta can directly read your thinking.
I think that will be a little while off yet.
Yeah, but the Neuralink is doing the same thing pretty much.
No, they're not. fMRI is using like magnets and stuff, and it's external to the brain. But what Neuralink was doing was that they had like a very precise robot implanting electrodes directly into the brain to sit next to the neurons to read neuron spikes, which is much higher resolution, but it's not something that you can just get off of a shelf and use. Not right away.
No, but I mean the capabilities are the same on both. Not the convenience factor, but that both Tesla and Meta are both working on like having access to your thinking.
Yeah, brain-machine interfaces. Yeah, I guess they are. This is much lower resolution though than what Neuralink's trying to do.
Yeah. But still, they want to predict based on what you watch how your brain develops. And guess what happened with all the AI stuff?
AI stuff.
The Mercor was an AI job interview platform that would like rate your job in CVs and stuff like that with an AI. Directly what is prohibited in the EU. But they lost 4 terabytes of data. So they lost 4 terabytes of video interviews and social security numbers and identity documents. So now some hacker has, let's say Obama was talking in the job interview for a new job. Now they have very, was it 4K? I think they mentioned, no, any case, they have high quality video and job interview details and social security numbers for many people, and that's like already training data. Like it was designed to be AI training data, so it's very easy to use and make deepfakes and anything you like. And now we don't know who has access to it.
Great.
So yeah, I asked ChatGPT to create this meme that 4 terabytes of data is stolen. Job interview, passport, Facebook, facial biometrics, and yeah, nobody knows who has your face. If you applied a job through the Mercor interface, now all of your biometric data is somewhere out there that can be used for anything they like. Nowadays, it's so simple to make a fake deepfake model. Have you seen those videos where they're like fake? It was not a job interview, but it was some business deal. And then the people started to be suspicious, and they asked to do this for the hoaxer. They asked the hoaxer to move the hand on top of their face, because at this point, the deepfakes will trip. Like if you have a live mask.
Right.
But I would say in a year, it will not trip up anymore in that kind of way.
Yep. Well, that's a bit painful.
Yeah.
I wonder how. I mean, 4 terabytes of data. I suppose it depends on how long the interviews were and stuff like that. So that's video and text data, right?
Yeah, it was 3 terabytes of video interviews, 200 gigabytes of user database.
So that's probably a few
gigabytes.
hundred people then.
At least.
Yeah.
I would think many thousands of people.
Oh yeah, if it was zipped. Your personal data.7z.
But after all that, they lost so much data, and they are building a brain interface, and they are fining for misusing of data for AI. This you already saw because I linked it to you previously. But Utah is building a data center that is called the Stratos project. That is 62 square miles. And it's twice the electricity usage of the Utah state itself.
Okay. Where are they going to get all that electricity from? Or I suppose the prices will go up or something.
No, well, they are promising that they are building they are building the power infrastructure themselves also.
Okay.
Like they will have natural gas turbine generators. But pretty much if there is so much natural gas somewhere that they can just triple the electricity usage of Utah, it's like it's mind-boggling how large the data centers will be.
Yeah. We should build them on the moon.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much what Elon and stuff like those they want their data centers on the Earth orbit.
Yeah.
Nobody can hack them then. Nobody can destroy them with the Unabomber, not the Unabomber. Who was the guy who was wanting to go back to the woods?
Yeah, Unabomber. Ted Kaczynski, innit?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski cannot save us anymore when they are on the orbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are in like humanity is in a big. I'm losing my words, but how do you say when humanity is like changing at a changing point?
Inflection point, turning point.
No, those are not
A
the
crossroads.
No, something still more grand, whatever. But because the humanity is in a very, very strange place right now, that data centers are taking so much energy and they are doing anything they can. But did you know that 74% of new web pages are done with the help of AI?
Yes, because I've seen them. Like whenever
Yeah.
I go and Google something, especially if it's about AI, what I will see is what was very obviously a ChatGPT response that was just pasted into the article, but they were careful to leave the footer where it says, if you like, I can dig up some more information about, whatever.
Exactly. Like if everything is done by the AI and now the new AIs are learning from from the AI data, it's all like bugs me at night that what will happen in 20 years to humanity? What is left of humanity when AI is doing all the thinking and all producing of all the new stuff? And
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of that, like the fantasy future. Was it neo-distributism? Where you have all of these big families and maybe you got the family AI that's doing your family work. That'd be nice,
but
wouldn't it? No, I know it's
maybe.
not realistic. Before you say, oh, yeah, but that's not very realistic, Liam. Yes, I know it's not going to happen. We're all going to die. But no, we're not. We're not. No, we're going to make it. We're going to do it, boys. We're going to go to space. We're going to go to other planets. And we're going to meet the aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're going to do it. No. Shut up. We're going to do it.
No. Yes. I was going to continue about the article that only 2.5% of the web pages were pure AI. But of course, it has been only like 1 year that we have building AIs.
Yeah, and 1 year that we've been like developing AI detection technology, I bet that percentage is genuinely higher.
Yeah, and this was April 2025, so this is also like ancient history by now.
Well, yeah.
But
that's like, we didn't even really have like coding agents back then. The audience wouldn't know because we cut it out, but I showed Akseli a coding agent earlier. And yeah, by that point, like we had them, but they weren't very good. And, you probably couldn't really get any real work done with them, but now you can get so much work done with them.
Yeah.
You can slopify anything.
Yeah, like it has been for like 2 years we have talked about that knowledge work is over. And yeah, we need to start to be plumbers or something.
Yeah, get a farm. I've been watching
Yeah.
Clarkson's Farm on Amazon. That's like, I want that vibes.
I don't know what that is.
Do you know who Jeremy Clarkson is?
Nope.
You'd like him, I think.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's quite like I thought that it's pretty much over people building new domains, but there are 900,000 domains. So I thought that we are going into that direction, that everything is on Facebook and Google and YouTube, but apparently new domains keep popping up very fast.
I'm kind of happy to hear that. I mean, yes, it's all AI slop, but I didn't really want the whole internet to just become Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. That's giving them even too much power for them.
Did you guys have coolmath.com when you were at school?
No,
like you're in the IT room, you go on, huh?
That we used finished websites. We had because you are 5 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So
you just leaked my personal details to the hackers, you bastard.
Yeah. So are you talking about primary school or where?
No, I was probably dipping into coolmath.com like late middle, early high school. It probably doesn't exist anymore. If it does, I'd be so happy. Yeah, try coolmath.com.
Yeah, it seems to exist. This one.
Oh, does it not have the cursor thing anymore? It used to have numbers follow your cursor around. Does it not have it?
No, because we are not on the. That's long gone now that we have HTML and stuff like that. Maybe you can still do it, but like
you definitely can.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember those times.
Yeah,
running custom cursors. I would also edit the cursors on my Windows PC.
Yeah, Cool Math Games. Go to Cool Math Games. Because we weren't going on it for the math. We were going on it because it had tower defense games. Oh, the thing's gone.
What thing?
Yeah, the numbers that follow your cursor around. I thought it might come back if you went to Cool Math Games.
So this is something I show my kids.
I don't know, maybe if it's still good. I mean, when I was in high school and we were in the computer room or when I was in high school and we were in the computer room and we couldn't be bothered to do our work, we went on to coolmath.com and started playing the games, right? If we sensed that the teacher was approaching, we'd just be like, oh, I'm just doing some math study while I wait for this. Just a bit of maths.
So
it's nothing.
It's not a learning page.
Well, it wasn't back then. I don't know how it's changed. I mean, it must be like, I don't want to say too much, but it's been well over a decade since I was at high school. So
You know, logic, numbers, and
try in the search. Try typing in. Go into the search. Type BLOONS.
Bloons Tower Defense. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I know Bloons Tower Defense, but that's not a like learning game.
No, they weren't learning games. They were just games.
Okay.
They were literally just games, but the website said coolmath.com, so you could tell the teacher that you were doing something that was related to school.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a mini clip clone, pretty much.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Yeah, mini clip is a page like this. But yeah, okay. Yeah. No, we didn't do anything like that.
But yeah, because you got a good education system, don't you, where you actually want to learn.
But yeah,
yeah,
much.
we didn't have that. We absolutely hated it. Like, we learned to hate learning, I swear down. There was a few people whose personalities were conducive to the kind of school environment that we have in the UK. I was not one of those people. Right, so if I was in the computer room, I was going straight to coolmath.com, and we'd have, like, you know, because of the way that some of us were, like, oriented, we could signal to each other when the teacher was coming.
Yeah. We learned, we had a good teachers at good schools, but like in my, what is it now doing?
I don't want to rag on the teachers, by the way. I'm more ragging on the system itself. I think it's improved in the years since, but it's not Finnish school system level. You guys have, like, the whole world. Like, if you mention Finnish school system, anyone in the world is going to go, oh yeah, I heard their schools are really good. Like, better than everyone else's.
Yeah, because it was so when I was at school. It was all me, but not anymore. Now the standards are falling also here. But at primary school, we had like one PC like this, and it was in a different room, and then we were doing math things, and then like two people at the time could go there, and it was like an adventure game where you collect potatoes, I think, and when it was like you're running around in a labyrinth, and there are enemies there, 2D labyrinth, like a Pac-Man type game. And when you reach a potato, then you need to solve some math problem, and then you can continue collecting them.
So it was related to maths.
Yeah, we had math games, but we had like one that kind of machine, and then one or two persons at a time could access it, and the other ones needed to count on paper, and then we would change.
Yeah, those were on the way out by the time I was finishing middle school. There was maybe one left, and it had that. I think that's a floppy disk reader there, right?
Yeah.
I think I was the last person ever to use a floppy disk in school, and we only used it because we ran out of CDs.
Okay.
So yeah.
But yeah, that kind of tangent. It goes a bit nicely about the thing that I wanted to say about that everything is now created by AI. That have you heard about the cat video comparison, the analogy? I saw it a couple of years ago on Reddit or somewhere, and it has been on back of my mind ever since that we were the first and last generation of humans that had cat videos.
Yeah, well, yeah, you still got him, but, the cat is wielding a shotgun and showing up at a Ring doorbell and launching itself into the air with said shotgun.
Yeah, like the analogy is better with, like, maybe I need to create a better meme picture for it, but that if you say that, hey, I saw a cat riding a tortoise, nobody would believe it 50 years ago, that, yeah, you are lying. Then we had the small window of 10 years or 20 years when everyone had a camera. And then people would believe that, hey, cats could ride a tortoise. But now it's again over. Now we are back at square one that nobody will believe if you show them cat riding a tortoise.
Yeah, well, fortunately, we still have this brief area of opportunity where you can still find out if the video was AI generated, right? But this is like the very tail end of that era, right? You know, the boomers, God bless them, they're not, you know, younger boomers, like younger boomers are well enough, like understand the technology well enough that they know that it's AI, right? But the older half, they have no idea.
But if I show you a 30-year-old video of cat riding a tortoise or a cat riding a tortoise created by AI, you don't know which one is real.
No, not without having a good old look, and I would have to zoom into the picture to look for sort of like noise, you know, or visual artifacts, or I'd have to run it through some engine that will analyze it and tell me if it's bollocks. But I'm saying we've just got this like slight edge of the window left where you could still do that. You could still find out, but are you going to? No, probably not.
Yeah, but that's not the point of cat videos. The cat videos are funny things that, wow, how did that happen? You are not supposed to analyze them for 1 hour to see if it's real or not. So the analogy still stands that the cat videos are gone.
You could have like you know how on Twitter it says readers added context and stuff like that? You could still feasibly have an engine that analyzes the video and automatically posts that, right? Like that's still doable. So even at this edge of the window, you know, there's still a bit of hope, but that will disappear completely in a few years.
Yeah, it's somehow depressing and philosophically like making my head spin that, hey, only one blink of humanity, you could prove stuff and you could record something interesting happening.
Yeah.
And it's gone already. We lived through that. But our kids will not. Our kids will not have that world anymore.
No, they won't. Oh, well, maybe we need to set up, Jellyfin. Is it Jellyfin?
Yeah, Jellyfin.
Yeah, Jellyfin, just curate everything and just live, you know, off new homesteaders, off grid.
But but that's still not like they will have friends that will have the AI phones and.
I know, like there is a lot of, you know, because there's loads of people that grew up with the sort of early side of social media when it was still a bit quirky and not really that bad. You know, certainly not compared to what it is now. Like, you know, the moderation was bad, and so things would slip through the cracks, but the likelihood of finding it was pretty low if you weren't actively looking for it. But now, like, the algorithm can just misfire and put something in front of you that you really don't need to see.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing also a bit related to this is that, like, 100 years ago, 100 years ago we had already the newspapers, but before Gutenberg, you needed to have in every village that one wise guy who could knew a lot of things. But now you can have that one YouTuber and it has 100 million followers. So there's now no need for a million wise guys anymore.
Yeah.
And that's also, in a sense, quite worrying that we are like, the humanity's knowledge is dependent on less and less people, and the AI will make it even more so.
Yeah, and I mean, you know me, I'm a big proponent of local AI, but local AI is going to do that too, right? I mean, yeah, the viewer's not going to know, but I was showing Akseli, it was a bit janky, I need to go fix it after this, but I was showing him a coding agent that was working completely locally on my computer, and it was as good as anything from a year ago that was on the frontier, right? And so now it's just on my computer. I needed a 3090 to do it, but, you know, even those are getting cheaper as well. You know, when you wanted to go and buy a 3090 back when they came out, it was like, what, £1,600? Euros, maybe?
Yeah, something. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's half that. So it's, it's entered a different bracket of what's affordable. So now for 800 quid, you can go and get yourself something that will do, local model inference for LLMs that, matches anything is miles better than GPT 3.5, and that was 175 billion parameters with like a 2K or 4K context window, right? But now I can take Qwen 3.6 27B, and it has, I can give it, on a 3090, I can give it about 90k context, and it is a monster. Compared to GPT 3.5, compared to GPT 4 maybe, and even, it probably beats GPT, like the early releases of GPT 5 on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
And so now I can have that in my house, and just to finish my point, I can have, video generation models. I haven't tried this yet. I did try it on my old RTX 3060, and it didn't work very well. But now I've got, double the VRAM. And so the kinds of models that I can fit on that might be, is probably not going to be so realistic that you couldn't tell, assuming you are under 60. But at some point it will be, a year from now, the best video generation that we have now is probably going to become so efficient that it will fit in something like a 3090, or maybe what comes after the 3090 that's got, I think the 6000 series RTX cards got leaked, and it's going to have, the big one's going to have 32 gigabytes, so maybe it'll fit on that. But yeah, the video generation models, that'll fit on that.
I would expect they are running on phone very soon, because that's something
No,
yeah,
no, I don't think so. Okay, all right, you convince me.
yeah. Well, the Gemma 4, we probably need to make a separate episode about Gemma 4, but that sorry, the previous point I was making, that you are talking about AI agents doing the coding and making videos, but the analogy that I was saying about the wise man in the village,
Right.
that you need to go at how to fix your arm, that because there is no doctor, or what to do, how to light a fire or something like that, that kind of knowledge. People go and install Edge AI from Google Play Store and download the Gemma 4 smallest model, the 2.6 gigabyte file, and it has everything, the humanity's all knowledge. You can ask anything you like about it, from it, on any language you want, and it's running nicely in 4 gigabytes. It can do voice and
4 gigabytes.
Yeah, 4 gigabyte RAM it needs.
Mm-hmm.
And it can do voice analysis, it can do image analysis. It will tell you, maybe actually you can see there is my old Lego castle. I asked to explain what it sees, and it explained that it's an old Lego castle, gray, and it has Lego soldiers on it and everything like that. So you already have the village wise guy on 2.6 gigabytes, and humanity is over. Let's go back to doom and gloom.
Well, I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. For something like that, for something that small, I would imagine the hallucination rate will be incredibly high. Keep in mind that this is lossy compression. That's kind of what an LLM is. It's lossy compression of the data that you fit into it, right? So it's still going to get a lot wrong. I would imagine that if I start using it, I will initially be very impressed. It's similar to how you sound. I can hear in your voice you were very impressed by it. But I think when using it in anger, it'll become pretty clear how stupid the thing is.
Well, I have done a lot of tests with it. I asked a lawyer to ask in Finnish lawyer terms, or ask anything you like from it, and he asked some lawyer terms that I don't know, and he said that yes, the Gemma 4 answered correctly, in a sense that it said that it didn't know. It explained a lot of things, and then I'm not sure if you mean this or that, or that. And the lawyer said yes, it's all correct, that it explained correctly that the question didn't have all the info. That the AI understood that the question is too limited for a correct answer. And I asked a doctor also to play around with it. I have many like when going eating out and hey, asking a friend, hey, can you ask this something that you know about? And pretty much always it says that, yeah, it answers correctly. Because it answers in a way that I don't know why it doesn't hallucinate so much. Because it will keep it as so vague. Sorry, I'm losing my thought, but like play around with it. Put Gemma, the smallest Gemma on your 390 and ask it about some knowledge that you know about. Not coding, but like general knowledge.
Okay,
Like,
fair enough.
do you know sisu? What is sisu? It's like the Finnish. You definitely have seen memes about it, or probably have seen memes about it. It's the Finnish term of like the Soviets are attacking, but we have so much sisu that we don't give up. We just go through and win. Well, we didn't win the Winter War, but sisu means like courage and not giving up and stuff, something like that. And I asked a guy who knew Persian that, hey, make a question, and he asked in English to explain the word sisu, so the Finnish word, in Persian, and it explained it correctly in Persian, from English to Finnish to Persian.
Okay.
On 2.5.
Yeah, maybe I was too hard on it, because I ran the model that Akseli is talking about, but what do I get it to do? I hook it into Pi and I try to get it to do tool calls and stuff, and it fell over, so maybe I'm too hard on it. But,
yeah, you should think it as a local knowledge helper.
Okay.
That takes 2.6 gigabytes. And I know something about coding, but I don't know how you get all of humanity's knowledge in half of DVD.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you, because I don't know. I haven't looked at their papers.
Yeah. And that's like, it's only getting better. Yeah, but
Hastily did my hair before the podcast, but it didn't really work.
the next topic related to that everything is now AI, everything is blocked, that AI bots are blocked everywhere, that Cloudflare has blocked 400 billion AI bot requests.
Yeah.
And pretty much all the newspapers are now blocked, that AIs cannot block anything. And Cloudflare made it now default that AI crawlers cannot go through their pages.
Yeah, I have noticed in the last year or so, in the beginning, the sort of web crawling features of ChatGPT were really good, and I could get answers to certain questions quite quickly. But now I just can't seem to.
I think Brave AI works still. I was asking with Grok that why Brave AI still can give me web page content. And it claims something that Brave AI uses. It doesn't use the data crawlers for data harvesting, but just answering my question. And that's why it's let through. I don't know if it's true or if Grok is just bullshitting me, but the Brave AI and DuckDuckGo AI, those definitely can give me results about latest searches. Like if there's something happened 3 hours ago, Brave AI can give me, like it definitely has read the news articles. So I'm a
Well
bit
done,
confused. Guys. Yeah, I'm a bit confused what it means in practice, that Grok claimed that only the training crawlers are blocked. But I don't know why would that be. Why would Brave AI still be allowed to access all the web pages?
Okay, so this is I think I'm mishearing you then. When it comes to training, they're grabbing all the data, right? But when Brave is doing it, yes, it's searching for... I have still noticed that ChatGPT is having a bit more trouble with the web search, but like it'll come back and say, oh, I couldn't access this site for whatever reason. But what you're talking about is a different thing, right? So that this is where they're actually just scraping as much data as possible as they can off the page, and they're doing it to train their models. And basically there was an article, I'd have to dig it back, but I think it was the New York Times. I think it was the New York Times, and somebody basically put a prompt like, finish this article, and they put the first few sentences of an actual New York Times article, and the thing basically just spit out the entire article with just a few changes maybe. And it was clear as day. Okay, so this is our proprietary data that's being used to train
Yeah.
these models. Might have been
Yeah,
New York
exactly.
Times. I don't remember the specifics. I think it was like a year ago.
Yeah. Definitely, and it can spit out Harry Potter and anything like that. That's old news that it has read every book in the world.
Yeah, well, but hence, they're blocking it now because they don't want their. It's a bit late now, I suppose, but
Yeah.
they don't want their proprietary data being taken like that and used for.
But still, that leaves so many questions open. That what does it mean in practice? That AI is creating everything on the internet. AI is doing all the knowledge work. But AI, like learning from now the AI stuff online, but still AI is blocked of reading the latest news.
Yeah, I think it could go. Well, there's a few directions that I think it will go. So in the near term, what you will probably see is maybe in some sense some degradation, because if you continue feeding the AI's outputs back as training data, there's a certain amount of noise that creeps in and it just sort of degrades.
Yeah.
Later on, though, I mean, I don't think we're going to have transformers forever. I mean, if you think about, so Quen 3.6 27B is not as smart as a human being. It's probably smarter at coding and maybe a couple of things. But in terms of general intelligence, it's like nothing. But it's using, I can see on my GPU, it's using like 120 watts of power, right? And the human brain runs on 10 watts and has a great many more parameters than 27 billion. Right. So, at some point we're going to change the hardware and the software such that, it's 50 watts and then it's 25 watts. And then
Yeah, definitely. And I think it will happen quite fast.
also the architecture will change. I don't think transformers are the last go that we have at it. It's just that they were so good that people can't help themselves at the moment but do transformer architectures for everything because they're just so effective. But, we're going to find something else.
Any ideas? Like I don't have a clear thought about what is a transformer. Can you simply explain to listeners what is a transformer and how could it be replaced?
So I'm not a big expert in what it is, but it's an architecture for, well, it's a deep learning architecture that is a sort of, if I remember right, it's a composition of a bunch of smaller neural networks, and they all have a special part. Like, there'd be one part that's a tiny neural network that takes the input, the raw text, and converts it into some intermediate representation that is then fed to higher layers and stuff like that. It's not like the older neural networks where you basically just have a big cube of layers that you're just passing the data through.
Yeah.
But all I can say is that it's the dominating architecture at the moment for heavy work. There was a paper that came out in 2017 called "Attention is All You Need," which detailed how you build one. And then after that, people started making stuff with them, like the AI art models, the video models, and the LLMs. All of the things that we're talking about all the time are these transformer models. But later on, you could have other architectures, right? That something could come along that does it better. Or maybe it's like going to be a hybrid of transformers and something else. Or maybe we finally get what are called spiking neural networks to work, which are basically like simulations of biological neural networks, but in a software form. And in theory, they could be better, but they're just very hard to train.
Yeah, was it there? Like I remember seeing some couple of months ago that it's quite new that there was now a big breakthrough in directly related to transformers that the AI needed to first change the data of a picture to something it understands and then analyze it. But there was something that they could skip it now, that it could directly think in the voice that you're talking to.
Yeah, so I believe, again, it's been a while since I looked at these particular things, but I believe what that little neural network that does that is, I think that's called an encoder. I don't know off the top of my head, don't quote me on it. I think that's called the encoder. And Gemma, the new Gemma 412B, if I remember correctly, doesn't have that. It just skips over that, and it just loads the text directly into the thinking part, I guess. I need to brush up on this stuff, really.
Yeah, I was just googling it around that it's audio to audio understanding, that the breakthrough that it was also audio to text, that the computer needed to first change it to text and then think about it. But now it doesn't need to move it to text anymore, that it will directly understand your speaking. There is no conversion happening in between.
I might be thinking of a different thing then. I saw that Gemma 412b could take the data in directly without some intermediate step, but
Yeah,
you might be
that's the
talking.
same thing.
Well, so Gemma 4 does output audio as well, like direct output audio?
No, audio to audio, that you speak it to it and it will understand the audio. It doesn't need to
Okay, right.
convert the text in between.
Right, so what I thought you meant by audio to audio was you speak audio to it and it speaks audio back to you, and that would have surprised me.
Yeah, no, it still needs to text-to-speech model in between. But I think that's also skippable now. If it already understands audio directly, it can very soon also talk our audio directly.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah,
we'll see.
This was the one thing that I wanted to end our episode with. This is a Reddit comic. If only history's greatest thinkers had AI in their day. Young Copernicus, circa 1480. Do you say 1480? Could it be that the Earth actually revolves around the sun? Asking the AI. No, everyone agrees that Earth is the center of the universe, and then here's why blah 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 blah. And that's that. Now we are still Earth-centric model. And then he goes happily on his way. And then Mary Shelley, what should I write about? What should I write about for a writing competition? And then it spits out novels.
I don't know who she is. I'm not very cultured.
No, me neither. I don't know who she is. But based on this comic, she wrote something very new. Let's just ask Mary.
Are you asking the AI?
Yes, I'm doing exactly the thing in the meme. But this is because I'm doing knowledge. Well, yeah, the comic stands. I should not ask this about. He's the writer of Frankenstein, the mother of science fiction.
Okay, cool. Good for her.
So, yeah, so the AI is only spitting medieval romance novels.
Yeah.
No science fictions anymore. The science fiction doesn't happen. And then King Leonidas, can I stop the Persian invasion with 300 of my men at Thermopylae? Then AI say, no, you dumb shit, you cannot win the Persians. And then Sparta doesn't happen. And Charles Darwin, evolution through natural selection possible. And no, species are created by God and do not change over time. Here's why. And this is a very, very also something that keeps up me at night. That are we already in this point of humanity? We lost the cat videos and now we are losing all innovation.
I get the point that the meme's making, and I think there's a lot of truth to it. But I've had conversations with AI where I have some like out there idea that would take, many engineer hours to solve, right? Or probably many scientist hours to solve as well. And I'll talk to the AI for a moment and I say, is this possible? And it kind of comes back to me with this kind of response that you see in the meme. But then I sort of argue with it for a moment. I was like, okay, but suppose that this problem is solved, and this is a solvable problem, it's just very hard, and then this problem was solved, which is also solvable, but very hard. Then can we, and it goes, oh yeah, well, I guess, yeah, you could, yeah. Because it's not, it's not a buzzkill machine, it's a sycophant machine.
Yeah, actually, now I just realized what's wrong with the comic. Because all of these are first principle thinkers, and the AI will never let you stray if you use the first principle thinking.
Yeah.
But
well, I don't know about the novelist, like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But are we losing the ability to think in first principle? Because everyone is just asking the AI about everything. I would guess it goes. So we are losing many brains because of AI.
We might be. I think it's a bit too early to tell. There are definitely people that I've seen who are losing their minds to it. Like there was this guy who is sure that he could get AI LLMs, older ones as well, like not the recent ones. Maybe the recent ones could take a good stab at it, but he was convinced that it could solve this very old conjecture that's really hard to solve that nobody solved. I think I remember recently that there was an LLM that solved an old conjecture, but
Yeah.
never mind. But with what this guy was doing with the AI that he had available to him, it wasn't going to happen, but he was so sure that it would, and people were accusing him of something called like AI psychosis or something, where you believe it's more capable than it is, and all of that. I don't remember the article. If I find it, I'll let you all know. But
Yeah, I'm more thinking about generational.
But he was a mathematician. He was a mathematician, right? Like he wasn't just some random guy off the street. He was an actual, he like he was a professor or something. He had cred.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about in a generational term that now 5-year-olds have ChatGPT. Like the teacher in the Finnish episode explained that now the school kids in primary school are already using AI to do all their work, all their
Are you
thinking.
serious?
Yeah.
They shouldn't be.
Exactly. But
no, I mean, I don't mean because it's going to damage their thinking. I mean because it's going to be a danger to them.
What do you
right?
mean?
Because it's going to, I mean, is it just ChatGPT or what is it?
Like pretty much he explained that they are doing, for example, something that they have a school chapter about how plants grow, and then they show it go and look for more information about how plants grow, and then everyone is talking about with the AI.
Yeah, I mean, because the AI is not going to know that they're kids.
Yeah.
Right. So if a kid decides to get a bit creative and a bit colorful with his speech, the LLM's not going to say, I can't talk to you about that because you're a kid. Like I don't let my kids use AI because I know that at some point they're going to say something inappropriate to the AI, and the AI is not going to know they're a kid, and it's just going to get back to them with things that they shouldn't be talking to anyone about.
You made just the case that you want to support the EU, the age limitation.
Well, I mean, I don't know about, putting my ID into ChatGPT and all of that stuff. I definitely don't want that. But no, I absolutely do think that parents should not let their kids use AI. It's that there's too much that can go wrong there.
Yeah, but then you needed to block them from the internet.
I do.
Yes, I do too. But like, at what point is like when they are 15, can they then go and talk with the chat? Sorry, that they are at primary school in Finland already Googling stuff. And
yeah,
then
the teachers need to take on that responsibility, and the IT that work at the school need to block ChatGPT and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like it's so much normalized that doesn't your kids' friends also use, like, they know what LLMs are and how to use them?
Well, my son hasn't come to me and said, "Daddy, can you let me use ChatGPT? All of my friends at school are using it." I don't think it's that common. Maybe it's just when you're speaking Finnish to ChatGPT, it actually acts like a responsible adult all of the time. But I have no idea. Like, as far as I know, the school that my son goes to is not using ChatGPT with the kids. I certainly hope not.
Okay, yeah.
Because the thing is that because I have like supervised my son as he uses ChatGPT because I knew he'd find it interesting, right? But I'm monitoring what he's saying to the thing and making sure that he's not going off the rails with it, right?
Yeah.
And he really likes talking to it. He finds it so interesting.
Exactly.
He would come back from school and say to me, "Daddy, I got to use ChatGPT at school." So I don't think they're using it at his school.
Like we had 20 years ago the assignment that, hey, go and search more information about this and this topic, and then it was always Wikipedia.
Yeah, but again, I'm not talking, I don't care about kids using it for their work because that's what we're doing. I'm certainly doing that, right? Like, if school is meant to some degree emulate your working life later, then yeah. I mean, if somebody said, "Oh yeah, we've got this fine tune that will never go off topic or anything like that," then I'd be fine with it, right? I'm not talking about them losing their ability to think. I'm talking about just the dangers that come with large language models that are trained on, they're trained on all sorts of things that are not appropriate for kids. And if you leave a child with one for long enough, I think it will eventually spit out the inappropriate stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. But
that's what I'm thinking about. Now, when it comes to using it for your work, now it depends, right? So like if you're learning how to maximize output with a language model as a subject, then yeah, I'm all for that, because that's what we're going to have to do in our working lives. It's what I already do, right? But if it's like, use ChatGPT to tell you about this historical event and then write a report, well then no, because you're just going to say, tell me about this historical event, and then you highlight the text, right click, copy, paste it into Microsoft docx file, and then take it back to school.
Yeah.
I mean, we did that as well at school. By the time, I don't know how easy it was for you, but by the time I was doing it, the teachers were wising up to it. But still, yeah, I mean, probably just being able to search for stuff on the internet
but
did hinder me a bit, because I didn't have to go, because I think it would have been better to go to a library and open a book and see. I think that would have been better for me. But
yeah.
But ChatGPT is definitely worse than having access to Wikipedia.
Yeah, but like there is now a chatbot when you Google something. Yeah, and that's what the kids are using when they are searching in the school for new stuff.
Pretty sure you can turn that off, can't you?
Yeah, definitely the school could turn it off, but they have not.
Yeah, because I get, like, if my son would find that if it was available to him, and then he'd come back from school and tell me that he used an AI at school. Like, he would be delighted to tell me that. So
But we can talk more about that when we get the English episode with the teacher.
I hope you enjoyed our long overdue news segment. For our viewers on YouTube, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe, or consider following us on Spotify or Apple Music. Thank you. Have a pleasant day.
Thanks. Bye.